Welcome to Dom Solo, everybody. I am your host, Dom Martino. Sitting with me today is Josh Richards, or Mr. Brobot, as it says on his little name card there. So we just watched Mandalorian Season 2, Episode 4 and Chapter 12, The Siege. long title. That's a mouthful. So we're going to talk about that today. And hey guys, before we get started, like this video, hit the comments, or put some feedback in the comment section below. Let us know what you thought of the episode. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't done so already, and share this with your friends. Josh, how you doing today?
Hey man, how's it going? I'm doing pretty good. How about you?
Yeah, I was doing real well up until about 2 minutes ago. But anyway,
that's not canon. That's not canon.
It doesn't need to be. So we're going to talk about this episode. We're going to break this down in as much detail as we can within the next half hour here. So, Josh, what'd you think of the episode overall?
Well, how I felt about it was it's a bit setup episode. It's not bad by any means. It's good to see the gang's back in town. But definitely wasn't really one of my favorites. I think so far my favorite of the season is the Ice Spider, which I think is episode 2.
Yeah.
So this one, I'm kind of on, but it's not bad by any means.
So that one was your favorite?
Yeah, I love that episode.
Oh, okay.
The creature effects. I don't know if they've ever used the giant ant creature before, but I love that design.
Okay, I really like that one too. So I was, I know a lot. It's weird because that was one of the ones that like most fans were really down on for some reason, and I really enjoyed it too. So
yeah, it was like
happy to hear you liked it. Yeah,
little Star Wars horror film, I guess is the way to describe it.
It was cool. I mean, we'd seen big spiders in Fallen Order and Rebels, but we never saw them play out in live action. So that alone was exciting to me. But hey, we're here to talk about The Siege, chapter 12. So we'll get into that here for you guys. Gonna put the big spoiler warning here. So yeah, let's just jump right in. So right in the beginning here, we got the child playing with red and blue wires. Pretty much, it's the symbolism again, of red and blue. They kind of continue that throughout Star Wars. I like the comedy here. It was kind of very Guardians of the Galaxy to me, but I did like it. I laughed. It got a chuckle out of me. But what was even cooler was transitioning over to Cara Dune, who I'm assuming got that marshal rank the same way kind of Cobb Vanth did. I mean, they're both kind of badasses in their own right, and I really love seeing Cara Dune kick ass. Josh, I know you were kind of saying that you figured the same thing, that she just definitely just kind of wrecked shit in that town, and that's how she got her marshal rank. And
I think Cara Dune's the only character in Mando I have a Funko for. I actually like her a lot.
I'm not liking that. You could hate on Gina Carano, but we need her as this character. I think that nobody else can play this character. That's
I don't watch Star Wars for people's political views. Right. I don't care. It's a space wizard show. I don't care what they said in real life.
Right. Yeah, it's ridiculous. She is one of my favorites of this entire series. So
I really enjoy her.
Yeah. So she did she I wanted to ask you this. So did it look like she had slightly new armor to you, or was this the exact same from season 1?
I didn't know if it was newer or it was more clean because she's now like in charge.
Something about it was different, that's for sure. There was definitely something about it that was different, but I couldn't really pinpoint
or it's just been so long since we've seen her, it just feels new.
Yeah I mean, that might be it too. I mean, who knows? But so then we move into the title card, which we get the reveal. It's chapter 12, The Siege, which, by the way, I don't think I gave my overall thoughts yet. I really, this is actually my favorite episode of season 1 and season 2, so I kind of feel the opposite of you, Josh. I think it just feels the most Star Warsy of all the episodes, and I was really surprised to see Carl Weathers come in and direct this thing and do it as well as he did. It was pretty astounding. So excuse me. So yeah, so we move into I knew I called this on last week's that we were gonna have to have a detour because that ship was gonna break down. You saw something fly off the back of it right there at the end. You're like, oh shit, they're gonna be fixing this ship next time around. So yeah, I mean that was kind of predictable in a way. But I'm glad we had this detour. We got some answers in this episode to some questions. I liked going back to Navarro. I liked seeing the new town. You and I were kind of talking earlier. We were kind of laughing at the idea of they go into this school and they have the what I like to call the human resources droid, because that is essentially what 3PO is for. And it's the same droid as he is, or same type of droid. He just plops the child right down the middle of the school. I thought the biscuit comedy, the blue biscuit thing with the force, I thought that was off color, but I was telling you earlier, I understand why they put that there. Like you were saying, the child is the breadwinner. And one of the things I'd mentioned earlier is, there's a lot of fans of the show that watch it just for the child. And there's a lot of people in the world that just like to put out memes of the child and don't even watch the show at all, unfortunately. But that's just the reality of America, ladies and gentlemen. So so moving in though, one of the coolest things, this is where the meat of the story really starts to get in. They pull up a holo map, which to me, I see a holo map, I think Star Wars. I'm like, that's pretty awesome. They pull up this holo map and they're looking, she's kind of describing to him, so okay, this is the part of the town that I've cleaned up, but over here, this is the bad area. That was really cool to me. Also, the blue guy came back. I don't remember his name. Do you?
I don't either. I wasn't expecting him to come back, to be honest.
Yeah, you see, like, I only knew because you see, like, it's for like a split second, and I just happened to catch it. In the trailer, you see a part of him, so I'm like, yeah, I knew he was gonna come back. I was worried about it because I didn't really like him in the first season. I'm not gonna lie.
I was ready to be like the goofy sidekick to Mando.
Yeah, I thought he worked really, really well in this episode, though. Like, they used him for really good humor. I mean, honestly, they used him to give more levity for Carl Weathers' Grief Karga character, because he was just kind of slapping this guy around the entire time. This Carl Weathers made this guy his bitch, pretty much, and I thought that was really, really funny. So yeah, they're on a mission. Amanda's gonna go help him out. I don't know. The impression I got is like he didn't really. I like the dynamic here because the impression I got was Mando didn't really need to go help out Kara and Grief for the repairs. That was the impression I got. Like typically when Mando's helping somebody out, it's for the trade off. And here they didn't really establish that. He just wanted to go help him out because he likes them, I guess. One of the other things I mentioned too was how freaking thrilled Cara Dune seemed to be to see Din Djarin, and I don't want these two to like do a romantic thing. If they're gonna head that way, I'm gonna be upset. I want him to go back at the end, find the villager lady from season 1, and end up with her. Like, okay, if Cara and Din Djarin have a fling, whatever, but I want the ultimate thing just to bring the story full circle. I think it would make sense more narratively if you went back to that village at the end and found that lady. But yeah, I don't know. I mean, what'd you think of the entire, section that I guess I just went over? I mean, what was your overall take?
So one thing I noticed, I could be completely wrong, was so when Mando and Carl Weathers meet up, right?
Yeah.
Do you notice they kind of recreated the Arnold handshake from Predator?
No, but I'm going to go back and check it out though.
Like as soon as they like touched hands, it just popped in my head. I could be wrong, but
you son of a bitch.
It felt so much like that. There's a little touch on the nose.
Oh wow, no, I didn't catch it, but that's a good. They probably did. I mean, they take references from all things in the '80s, so.
But yeah, with this, like, not the biggest fan of this episode, I did like seeing the gang back. Like, yeah. They're a good crew of people to have.
They are.
The blue guy worked in this more because he had other people to play off that isn't just angry Mando.
Right.
It was just a blank slate. Like, he just kills people blank slate.
Yeah.
So, but when you have like Carl Weathers and Cara Dune, like, it works for me.
Yeah. I know Horatio Sands plays the guy the blue guy from Saturday Night Live, but I don't know the name of the character. I know they said it too, and I already forgot it. So
yeah, I forget Carl Weathers' name on there.
Grief Karga.
Grief.
Yeah, Grief Karga. But yeah, so so they're moving into this mission. They're going to this Imperial base. Oh, all the banter again between the blue guy and Carl Weathers. I mean, it's so funny here. I got quite a few laughs out of it. It cracks me up because he keeps going, how about 30 years off your life sentence? And they established that the guy's already going to serve like 350
was like
years.
320.
Something like that. So it's like 30 years is nonsense, but it's still like...
I say he knocked off 100 at one point. I'm wondering how long Mr. Weathers thinks he's gonna live.
I don't know. It's still nonsense. Yeah, did they ever research the lifespan of these blue guys before he sentenced them? I hope he did, but whatever. He has no sympathy for this man.
And he's blind in one eye because of Mando.
Yeah. Oh man. Yeah, I thought it was really funny when he was like, yeah, I'd rather not go back into carbonite. So, because even Mando gets in there, and he's even like slapping this little fucker around. So I thought.
Oh yeah, when he's like, oh, if he takes off, let me know.
Yeah. Yeah, that stuff was really funny. I thought it was cool when Mando just went up with the jetpack here too, and just like got that stormtrooper off the roof, and it was funny. He just threw his ass down. Like you just saw the stormtrooper fly out of nowhere. He's been doing that a lot lately. Like he did that in episode 2, in the beginning there too, where he gave the jetpack to the guy, and the guy just came flying down. So
yeah, no, Mando killing people is. He's an artist at it.
It's gold. It really is gold. Like there is it's incredible. They've definitely like upped the badassery in this season in terms of like Mando or Din Djarin. I keep forgetting he has a name, but Mando just rolls off.
I mean, we were calling Mando for almost a year.
Right. We're gonna keep probably doing it. So but yeah, so Mando's definitely, they've upped the badassery here with him. Yeah, so this and this is another thing too, and this is another reason I love the episodes. This Imperial base, it just feels so Star Wars to me. It looks like an Imperial base. I don't think we've ever seen. Well, I don't think we've really ever seen like in this show an Imperial base like that. Have we, like, before? Because I don't think so. Like we saw the freighter last week, but I don't think we've ever actually seen like a base. Like, and I think that's pretty cool.
I think closest to prison ship in season 1 with Bill Burr.
Yeah, but I
think it's the closest we've gotten.
I don't know if I'd even count that, but yeah, I get what you're saying for sure. Yeah, it's close. I mean, that definitely felt very Star Wars for sure. Don't get me wrong, but and yeah, just a lot of the stuff happening here with them and the troopers. It just really was a callback to A New Hope, with Han, Luke, and Leia running through. So I really enjoyed the tribute, but it's like, and this is what the show's been doing to me, is it's bringing all these different elements of Star Wars together, but it's all so very new all at the same time. You know what I mean? It's not like, let's be honest. I mean, I really enjoyed the movie, but Force Awakens very on the nose.
Yeah.
When they try to pay tribute, this pays tribute, but the story is still its own thing. And I've been really digging that about it. So that's another tribute. And then when they move, there's a part here too where they open up this door, and it reminds me of when the door opens in Jabba's palace in Return of the Jedi. Like I thought that it looked like almost. I mean, the aesthetic of it was very, very similar. It looked almost verbatim to that. But like then they find out. Well, they end up finding this hologram of the cloner guy from, or we know now is a cloner guy from the first season, and he comes up, and we got way more answers in this episode than I thought we were gonna get. So, because the first thing they see is these what essentially looks like bacta tanks with these bodies in them. And did you see what I saw in those You
saying a Palpatine?
I saw a little Snoke.
You're saying Snoke?
It looks like Snoke if you pause it and look closely at it. Like I walked like right up to my TV, and if you really, it's Snoke. I'm telling you, down to a T. But what I do think, and if that's the case, what I think is pretty much confirmed is that these are Palpatine's people. I think straight up, like, and I think that there's a way to do this too. And if Palpatine shows up, we're all gonna lose our shit because it's Palpatine. I doubt it, because I think that there's a way to do this too, where you can allude to it every so often in the series enough to where we know, but we don't have to really make the series about that. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and that's actually what has me worried.
Yeah, if they end up making it about that, yeah, I'm gonna be not necessarily out, but I'm gonna be not as big of a fan as I was previously. You know what I mean?
Yeah, because this is the way I always describe Mando is like you and I growing up with the Kenner toys. There's always the random characters, and you can make your own adventures.
Right.
And this feels like that again with these new characters, and I just kind of want it divorced from everything else. Like little references here and there, I'm cool with because they do exist in the same world.
Yeah.
But I don't want them to be glued to that.
This is I mean, what this show does is it allows Favreau and Filoni to dump their action figures out on the ground and play with them, right? I mean,
and it's fun.
Yeah. I don't want to, I want a story that's cohesive, but I don't need it to be so in ties with the Skywalker saga. Allude to it as you've been. I mean, they've been doing that, and that's fine. I'm okay with that, but they don't need to make it about that. Like, I don't want this to be about the plot of Palpatine coming back. You know, I don't want this to try to avoid the Force as much as possible.
Same. I in season 1, I was actually disappointed when the child used the Force. I was like, that's a little worrying.
Yeah.
Because I wanted this to be its own little Western type story.
Yo, me too. But they do it so well with the child, though, to the sense where it's like they don't throw it out there every episode. You know, I mean, there's times where he'll try to do it and he can't pull it off every time, and I think that's actually pretty clever, just to make this feel original. But yeah, if it becomes about the plot to get Palpatine back, you could allude to them doing that. I'm okay with that. Like, that's perfect.
Little shadow things here and there.
Right. I just don't want that to be the point of the series. And I also don't want for I just don't want, like I said, much of the Force, I guess. I mean, the child can use it, and that's like the only character, and I'm sure Ahsoka will use it as some capacity when we see her, but like, don't throw it out there all the time, and I don't want season 5 to be force by the time we get there. You know what I mean? Now, what I do like is the idea of them building the First Order. Like, I could deal with that. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that works fine.
Yeah.
Because that would be something Mando would run into on the outer regions.
Yeah. I really think we're heading that way too after the end, but we'll get into that here in a second.
Yeah.
But yeah, so the hologram, though, he comes up, he gives a lot of answers here. He was using the child's DNA to clone something in these tanks, and whether that be the first trials to try to create like a Snoke-like figure, or just the army that say Palpatine used to fly that fleet at the end of Rise of Skywalker, or everybody that was around him. Whatever they're trying to create here, I do feel it's for Palpatine, and I think that that's going to be what the child's going to be used for. But once again, I think there's a way to do it without making the show about it. But
yeah.
But I just think that that's what they're, the whole idea is they're trying to get the child's DNA to clone for an army is kind of what I'm thinking. An army of Force users, and obviously they failed in that, which I have questions about, which I'll ask you that here in a little bit, because I wanted to see what you how you interpreted this. But anyway, but moving into this, the action was so cool though when they were escaping this place, figuring out that the Gideon's kind of still around lurking. I mean, I thought that was a cool little thing. I mean, yeah, but the action when they're escaping is really cool. I really like them in the gunner seats together, Car's driving, Grief Karga's in the gunner seat. Really, again, call back to New Hope, I think, without a doubt. And yeah, it was just like a lot of fun. I was getting like really fun Star Wars, and it was in this moment I realized another thing that just makes this. I mean, I recognize it was good always, but this is just something else that just makes the show so fresh. Because when we see those gunner moments, when they're using the gunner seat shooting stormtroopers and it's all fun and stuff, we're expecting to hear dun 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 dun, and we don't. we hear Ludwig Göransson's score, which I think, and that's not a shot at anybody that's done Star Wars scores in the past, but I think that Ludwig Göransson really just adds a layer of freshness to the tone and feel of it, which I think is another thing. It hit me today when I was watching that moment.
Bad analogy. Hamburger bun, sourdough hamburger bun.
Right. I get what you're saying though, because
yeah, it just adds that different tang to it.
Yeah, and it's really nice, and it's still, again, they find a way to do this, but still make it feel like Star Wars or like original Star Wars. What George was doing in the first place, and that they really find a way to do all that. It's pretty astounding when you really break it down, but yeah, I mean, so the TIE fighters start coming in. I that got me excited too. I was like, Jesus Christ, and I mean, the budget on this season is far higher than that first season. It's so clear to see.
Oh yeah.
And I forgot to mention the speeder bikes were super cool. The sounds of them were, the sound design was straight out of Return of the Jedi. You can hear it. They're using that same exact sound design. So I thought that was awesome too. I love the setting of Navarro. I wasn't huge on it in the first season, but now that we're seeing more of it, I really like how you get to part of that area and there's lava in there. I thought that was cool. One other little homage I forgot to mention was Mando, and when he was on the he went through the doorway and there was no bridge there to gap. There was nothing to bridge the gap. I was expecting him to pull out his dental floss and rope around like Luke, and luckily that didn't happen. He jetpacked up, but for the most part in the beginning there it felt like A New Hope. But anyway, going back to where we were, I don't know, what'd you think of the speeder bikes and TIE fighters? And
I'm a sucker for TIE fighters. So to see those fly out again, Mr. Wilhelm screams as they shoot. No, it's Howley screams. That's what they use. See that was all fine with me. I was cool. So like I said, not new score, but someone else helming that music.
Right.
Yeah, it was fine with me. I like that all. It feels like playing with toys all over again.
Yeah, it was super duper awesome. I mean, yeah, I agree. So basically what happens is, I think that this I actually like right here. I jumped up and did me one of my little happy dances, and Mando going up there in the ship and getting the ties was incredible. I mean, and then when he came down into the spin move from Last Jedi, what Kylo was doing, it was the same technique they used to shoot that, and I thought that was awesome. But it was amazing. I mean, not just that, it was just the way that, I don't know, the excitement to it. I don't know. It was badass, man. It was like Mando got his Razor Crest fixed, picked up the child. That guy's just he's badass on a whole nother level. You know what I mean? He's in his own category of badassery. We've definitely seen badass characters in Star Wars, but
yeah, no, I love Mando.
Din Djarin he's, I don't know, man. I don't know how he they come.
And the Razor Crest is awesome.
Yeah, I mean, it's an incredible ship. I love the design of that ship, and that's also what made me happy. It's almost like, you know what it is? It's like when we saw the Falcon do shit for the first time. Yeah. This is the new Falcon. It's a high praise for a ship, but it really is they have now made the ship as cool as the Millennium Falcon. Shit went wrong with the Millennium Falcon. When they got it fixed, it was exciting. And and that was the other thing. I mean, some of the stuff in the beginning with the child putting together the wires reminded me of Han and Chewie in Empire, when he's trying to tell Chewie which thing to put where. And so yeah, they've really established this in some kind of way as the new Falcon, and it was just so exciting to watch. And yeah, a lot of fun. I love that ship. You're right. So he doesn't even land. He's like, we're booking it. I gotta, the puke thing was funny. I got some internal maintenance to do here. That was really good. And it made a lot of sense. I mean, I thought that was funny stuff. And then what I love here is after they take off, the show does something that it hasn't done yet. And I think that this is actually the real reason that this is my favorite episode. You put aside all those tributes and everything and to old Star Wars. This is why it's my favorite episode, is because it's expanding the story like right here at the end, because it doesn't move back into Mando and or in the child. It goes into Grief Karga, and we're just going to spend some time with them. By the way, life of a rebel right now in the galaxy, very very boring. I mean, they're police officers essentially. uh but I thought that was pretty. I think it's cool though, because it's like, well, yeah, they somewhat won at this point, you know.
Yeah.
So, you know, but yeah, I thought it was cool to see him, you know, just kind of getting information from, or trying to get information from Greek. Grief's not going to spill the info. But the moment that I love here is when he goes out to Cara Dune, and the Alderaan thing was, it actually really almost brought a tear to my eye, because it was, you know, we understand as Star Wars fans the impact of, you know, Alderaan, you know, and her saying that she lost everyone. It's like, okay, two things. Number one, there's more story there that I want to hear about. I want to hear about her past on Alderaan. We kind of did in season one, but not really. I mean, this kind of, it almost makes me think, do you think that she played like a bigger role in Alderaan than we know, than we thought? Or
I feel now. Hopefully, current politics won't get in the way. There's gonna be a lot of build up for that character, which maybe you could get a book for, is which I think is gonna happen.
yeah.
But no, I feel like there's a big story with her. I actually feel like you could probably do a game around her.
Oh, that'd be cool. A game would be
Yeah.
really cool. I'd probably I'd take that over a book. I like the books and everything, but I would
Yeah.
definitely take a game over a book.
No, a game would be fun.
Yeah.
Like, she's a cool character.
Yeah, but I do hope we do get a little bit of that backstory, more like more nuggets as we move on here.
Oh yeah, that's, I think it's gonna be sprinkled throughout.
Yeah, because like with these shows, man, and that was like one of the things. It's like, okay, you have the book, the Aftermath novel. It tells Cobb Vance's whole story and everything, but we get nuggets of that retold throughout the show, and the reason why is like we have the time to do this kind of thing here.
Yeah,
and I love that. I love how it just builds characters, man. Yeah,
and it's not like there's a season limit. I don't think it's going up to a certain season and
right.
you're done.
I mean, they've said they've mapped out 3, 4, and 5, but that doesn't mean it's not going to go further.
Yeah, no.
You know, that's like, that just means that they've mapped that out already. So
all they need to do is make the child do another cute thing and have enough money for 5 more seasons.
So true, man. But yeah, I was really touched. Like, I was like, oh wow, she knew a lot of people in Alderaan. Like, she lost a lot of people. So I think she plays a bigger role there. Dude, a video game would be astounding with her.
Yeah, I think it'd be a lot of fun.
They need to make that. If anybody's watching, make that game. So yeah, so, and then this is the other thing that just really like really validated this, I guess, as like my favorite of the series so far. Is this was the dream for me. Like, I wanted to see one of the classic Imperial transition scenes from like Empire or New Hope, and we got that here. So I was so happy, and we saw the ship flying over, and we got to spend. I actually thought, I had a theory last week, and it didn't exactly come true, that this entire episode might be focused on the Imperial. I was like, I wonder if they'll take the risk and maybe just sprinkle in Din Djarin and the child, and just for a couple moments, predominantly spend time with Moff Gideon and build his character up a little bit more. They didn't do that, but they did give us some time with him without, you know, Din Djarin and the child, which I really appreciated. And yeah, I mean, one of the, you know, basically, you know, Gideon's confident that they're going to be ready for, you know, whatever's coming, and I don't know why. I don't have any speculation on that. I got to be honest.
Me either.
Really makes me curious, because like we saw that their army has failed, like their whatever they were building in terms of using the child's DNA, it's failed. So, you know, Gideon's got something up his sleeve. That's basically what this is established.
Plus, he saw it's a Darth Saber.
That's true. You know, I know we don't want the Force in here a lot, but it does make me wonder if possibly he has the Force. I certainly hope not. I mean, it all depends on how they do it, but I don't need Gideon to have the Force. I want somebody on the Empire side that's just a real intimidating character. You know what I mean?
Yeah, kind of like Thrawn, like
yeah,
just
or more or less how Gideon or how Moff Gideon's been throughout the series. Just stay consistent with it, because he's been pretty crazy, man. He's electrocuting motherfuckers if they fail their mission, man. He doesn't need Vader's force stroke over the video. He's got this electrocution thing going on. I mean, yeah, like Thrawn though too. I mean, I like tactical characters. I think I'm like
Same.
you in that sense, to where I you know, it's not that the force isn't cool. We've seen it so much at this point that we just want something new. So yeah, that was the end of this episode. Did you have what were your thoughts on the Gideon? I mean, we kind of touched on Cara Dune a bit, but you know,
Gideon, on like, he's, of all the Moffs that we met, he's probably my least favorite.
Of all the Moffs?
Yeah.
I'm trying to think. Yeah.
But he's fine, but I mean, when I got much screen time with him, I do like the actor Gus from Breaking Bad, so I know he's good. Right. It's just I haven't really like, oh, that's a great bad guy yet.
Well, that's why I wanted to kind of spend a little more time with him this episode. Like, I thought it would be cool to spend a episode predominantly with him, because it would build his character more and win even myself over on him more. I really like him, but like I want more, you know? I really do want more. I mean, Vader got built so well because that movie managed to transition back and forth between the good guys and the bad guys. And I think that we could still do that here, and people wouldn't be that upset if you spent one episode away from the child, you know?
That's going to make stocks plummet.
Some people will be upset. But
the people that only refer to him as Baby Yoda.
Yeah. I mean, I don't think one would kill it, though. So, yeah, I would like to spend an episode with him. We might be heading that way. Who knows?
Yeah, we could.
Yeah.
How many episodes we're getting this season? 8?
Yeah.
Oh, that's it.
Oh, we still got 4 more. I mean, and they've been, with the exception of last week, they've been longer. So last week was, I know everybody was complaining, I got gypped, and yes, I want them to be longer too, but I think that last week was the length that needed to be. Like, let the show play out, guys. Don't complain to Lucasfilm.
Yeah.
We see where that's gotten us before, so let's just let this thing ride out. Everybody's happy.
Yeah, it was fine, like, lengthwise.
Yeah, I think they need to let them do what they're doing. We're gonna get the show regardless at some point, so boy. But yeah, so yeah, that was the end of that episode. So where speculation, so where do you think it's going in episode 5 or chapter 13?
That's the Dave Filoni one, right?
I'm like 99% sure Filoni's directing that.
Yeah. So I mean, it's gonna be the Ahsoka episode, I'm pretty sure. It'll be the last scene she shows up.
It would be odd if Dave did not direct the one with Ahsoka in it. The only thing, though, reason I think that he might not be is because Robert Rodriguez is also supposed to be directing an episode with Ahsoka. Rosario Dawson's playing Ahsoka. Rosario Dawson and Robert Rodriguez have a really good past working relationship. That's the only reason I think maybe Dave does not direct the Ahsoka episode, or she could show up in more than one.
I think she'll be around 3 episodes
of the season.
I think they'll probably keep her for a little bit.
That'd be pretty cool.
Because I'm pretty sure Bo's coming back.
Bo-Katan, you got to bring back. Yeah, I want to see, even if it's in season 3, I want to see Cobb Vanth come back. That's who I want to see come back more than anything. It was cool to see Bo-Katan live action, don't get me wrong, but again, I'm so into these characters that we've never seen on screen before. Cobb Vanth being one of them. We got him for a couple slivers of a couple books, you know, and like that's.
I want his Black Series figure to happen.
Yeah, I think they're making it. I think I heard
they're
making it, but I don't know.
It's like. Yeah, because no, I loved him, the Oliphant.
Yeah. I don't know, man. Next week, I think we're gonna get Ahsoka. I think it's it'll be interesting. Yeah, because I mean, he's really heading that way. Like I said earlier, this was different. He didn't like stop back down. Like he just took off. He's going.
Yeah, so, he's like, we got stuff to do.
The Razor Crest is in great shape now, as we saw. So yeah,
is that held together a string?
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. I mean, I think that it's definitely, yeah, we're probably going to see Ahsoka. I'm a little nervous about it. I'm not going to lie, because
Yeah, I am too. I'm a little
I,
worried about that screen translation, but I like
yeah,
Rosie O'Donnell, all right.
don't get me wrong. When she was cast, like I was one that was like that. That actually, to me, that is perfect casting for Ahsoka. My problem is the direction part of it, and I think Filoni's a good director. I'm not saying that
Yeah.
he's not. He's done well in the series, but we gotta remember he hasn't done a lot of live action yet. So like I don't know. That's why I think maybe Robert Rodriguez directs that episode. And maybe the only other way I could see it going, maybe next week we spend more time with the Empire just for one episode. Because I think Dave would like to get his hands on that too. Like I know Ahsoka's his baby. I'm not gonna pretend like she's not, but still I think he likes to get his hands on the Empire too, so but yeah, that's my speculation. Well, Josh, thank you for joining me today, bud. Is there anything
Thanks for having me.
Yeah, no problem, man. Is there anything you wanted to plug or something before we
Oh no, I got nothing. I don't really do stuff.
All right, no, fair enough. I just like to offer that to everybody who's on.
Yeah,
so.
no, I appreciate it.
Yeah. All right.
Next time I'll make a fake show title.
All right, fair enough. Mr. Brobot, is that
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, Mr. Robot. Watch Mr. Robot on Amazon Prime. There you go. Seasons 1 through 4.
Oh man, that's a different discussion. That vote's still going to be going here for a while, so we'll see where that goes. Anyway, guys, thank you for tuning in. Please hit the like button below, subscribe to the channel, leave some feedback in the comments section, and share this with your friends if you know anybody that likes to share the child memes. No, he is not called Baby Yoda. But anyway, we will see you guys on the next episode, and until then, may the force be with you. Thanks.
Always.